What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Corruption back again. I kind of wanted to touch up on Street Fighter V here a bit. Not so much a review, more so kind of just how I feel the game's going so far. I know a lot of people on the internet were not happy with the release of Street Fighter V, with the lack of a story mode per se. The challenge mode wasn't implemented yet, and the shop wasn't up and going. There was just a lot of features that just weren't there at the launch of the game. And it left a lot of people disappointed, even though a lot of this was discussed by Capcom prior to the release. I guess just a lot of people didn't follow up too much before release, because really it was just kind of like your hardcore players that were really psyched about a fighting game that even paid much attention to the pre-release information. Anybody else just kind of, it launched, they went out and bought it, and they weren't happy. But really, for what they did have, I'm okay with it. I was happy with the, $65 purchase on it, and that's basically just a online one-on-one fighting game that you got. Kind of equivalent to how Killer Instinct's doing their launch so far. But yeah, I could see why you're getting some people a little upset. $65 for basically what you're getting from Killer Instinct for $20 for a season, I think is how it's going. But that's not to say, they're going to release stuff eventually. It's just that a lot of people are not willing to wait. But from the time that I have had with the game, playing online, this is probably the best online experience I've ever had in a fighting game. Because as is with Mortal Kombat X, I love Mortal Kombat X. I cannot play it online to save my life. Mainly because of my connection and then the input lag that the game implements. I'm pressing a button and waiting almost a full 1 to 2 seconds for a move to come out, and it's just pretty much unplayable at that point. And it's a shame, but I just kind of wish that they had a bit better netcode. And last I knew, they were supposed to be trying to get a better netcode going, but I'm not seeing much of an improvement if they have launched it for the XL edition. But as far as Street Fighter V goes, I've had nothing but great luck with it. Very little input lag on my end. I only got a few matches that, there was that wonky teleportation everywhere going. But compared to other games that I've had to deal with, and it just isn't that bad. It really does a great job on it as far as I'm concerned. Now, I know some people have had some other issues with it, and I don't know where the servers are located or any of that stuff, so somehow the Kansas boy managed to get godlike connection. Godlike, to, his standards. Not actual godlike. I'm not hosting anything on, a massive server. But it is really, really good compared to what I am used to running on. Now, if only Call of Duty games can run this well. Character balancing seems to be pretty on point. The fact that they're going to be releasing new characters pretty much monthly, following again that suit of Killer Instinct, will keep a lot of longevity into the lifespan, I believe. A lot of people, would wait until the next Ultra Turbo Arcade Random Words Here edition, and you'd get probably anywhere from 6 to 8 new characters. And that would last you probably for another year until the next big edition came out, and you'd get a lot of people that would play for a while on the new edition, and then they would just drop off and they wouldn't come back until the next edition. So it really didn't make for a very good multiplayer experience for a majority of players, since they weren't really sticking with it. And I was in the same boat. I didn't even really play 4 until Ultra came out. We did buy the arcade edition to play for an AGP game night back in the day, and I think I played arcade edition for a week after buying it, and then didn't really touch it again until Ultra came out. And Ultra, I didn't touch a whole lot either, really. We got into it pretty hard near the end of the lifespan, but nothing to say that, I was getting real quote-unquote good with it. So I've been kind of surprised at myself on how well I've done with Street Fighter V. Mainly because I think without the story mode to sit there and take up my time, and with really the only option being to go into multiplayer. That's helped push me into the multiplayer. Any other time with 4, I'd really just sit into the arcade, or not the arcade, but the training mode. I would do a lot of arcade, just trying to see how far I would go up in the difficulty, and I couldn't really get past medium, so I didn't feel like I was worthy to go online. With this, you can sit in training mode, get your training on, wait for matches, and go on, just like you could in 4, but now without the not without the option of sitting in the arcade and just grinding out AI matches and, you know, getting into bad habits with AI instead of learning how to fight opponents. You get pushed into more of your online matches, and it just is amazing to get in the online, because you know the guys are pretty much just like you, starting out in the rookie division where they don't have much experience with the game and they're just trying to feel it out just like you. So you almost play like couch co-op trying to figure out the buttons, and eventually you'll get enough wins to get into bronze, and then as you progress up, it just gets better and better. You get the better players, you start learning things a lot better. It's actually an amazing experience, and I really think that I would not have been this far, and I've only made it, don't get me wrong, I've only made it up to super bronze, and I have a hell of a time with that because I'm still learning things, but I wouldn't be ranked if they had a arcade mode on launch. I just would not have put the time into it. It's probably the best idea they've had was to actually delay a lot of the things, even though a lot of people will disagree with that and they're pretty sore about not having those options. It actually probably helps the online community a lot better than if it was present. Now I know some people just have refused to play it and probably turn it back in just because the single player options aren't there. But if they did like I did and thought, well, no single player option, may as well see what the 2 players like, then they're probably going to be a lot better. Anyways, just kind of wanted to get that out there. Next week I hear that we're supposed to be getting the shop, the Alex drop, and the challenge mode drop, so DLC is coming, and we're going to see how this whole fight money thing works out. I don't have a ton of it, so I'd probably have to pay cash money to get Alex. Hopefully by the time that my girl Jury comes out, I will have fight money to purchase and not have to worry about paying with debit. The only other thing I've been doing besides Street Fighter is Tom Clancy's The Division on PC, and that's going pretty amazing as well. I'll probably talk about that at some later time. I don't know if I'll ever get footage of it really up, considering it's on PC. I'll just have to see, and I've still been pretty lazy. I haven't even tested my AverMedia game capture on my PC to see if it will actually work. It should in theory, but that's a lot of effort, you know, moving a couple of feet to my left, unplugging the stuff, and going back over to the PC and plugging it in. Just too much effort. I'm damn lazy. Damn lazy. Anyways, y'all, this is your boy Corruption. I'm out. Take care.